sports fan, the fan, white, black, I don't care about that. The sports fan who knows that he can go to ESPN to get their take and to fill his brain with the sports items of the day. That's what the sports fan always has wanted ESPN to do. Remember, I've been in radio essentially and doing this, what we do here, as long as ESPN has in a different form. A couple years ahead of me they are. That's it. So, I mean, I know what the sports fan wants. That's what I know. And the sports fan, and what has hurt ESPN a lot in the last decade or so is they try too hard to be generational and to be hip. They have tried too hard to show everybody that they, quote unquote, are doing it the politically correct way. Why does an ESPN just worry about doing sports? And if they just worry about doing sports and covering sports with all their shows, outside the lines, which sort of is their 60 minutes, of all their shows, why don't they do that? And that way they can stay out of harm's way. Where conservatives don't get all bent out of shape, where you don't have to hear people say they're too liberal, I'm not going to watch, where they don't have to have the White House respond to an inane tweet from one of their hosts. Why don't they just go out there and worry about and telling their operational people, whether they be producers, board ops, CPs, whatever they may be, and hosts, why don't you say, guys, here's the deal. We are sports. Let us do sports. That means if it's the Cleveland Indian 21-game winning streak, we do that. That means if it's Brian Cushing's 10-game PED suspension, we do that. If that means Dodgers losing 16 of 17, we do that. If that means, Louisville hosting Clemson, we do that. If that means we break down Federer Del Potro, we do that. If that means we sit there and talk about the President's Cup in golf, we do that. And I don't mean doing it from a coverage standpoint where we throw Scott Van Pelt on the golf course, we put PMAC on a tennis court, that's their argument. Well, we do all that. Well, no. What they try to do too much in the heat of their day, because they're trying to fill up too much sports, is they try to get socially correct and get people on there who aren't sports people. 6 o'clock at night, every night, should be dedicated to the sports fan. That's what it should be. I don't want to hear about ratings, because if you're going to go there, your ratings for what you do now stink. So we're not going to go ratings now. That we're not going to do. Appeal to the sports fan. Now, if that means you don't do Sports Center because it's redundant at 6, we all have the information, greater minds than me have to figure out what to put in there to move the needle. But putting people in there to use it as a political block is not the way to go. Okay? When you have a show at 6 or shows in the course of the day that really don't know anything about sports and are not compelling and can't break down a game and can't yesterday, how could you be on television or radio yesterday? I don't care if you hate baseball. How can you not be on TV or radio yesterday doing sports in any shape, way, or form? And not at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock. God, I talk about the 1916 Giants. How could you not be on the air yesterday at 6 o'clock talking about the Cleveland Indians? That means pick up the phone as a producer and getting Francona on. That means breaking down what the streak means. That's what me doing that at 7 a.m. when everybody's waking up and we get a little with Pedro Gomez. No. That means in your hour show, you delve into it and you break down Indian baseball. Nobody cares right now about the NBA. Nobody cares right now about necessarily, Colin Kaepernick. Right now, people care about, if you're a sports fan, this is who you're trying to appeal to. They care about, yesterday, I'm just using that as an example, a baseball team that's done something that hasn't been done since 1916, win 21 consecutive games. as a talk. That is what you do as a talk show host. You don't sit there and get into a Twitter warfare with a bunch of Trump nutcases, or whoever they may be, about whether he's a white supremacist. Who gives a crap? Who cares? Make your show compelling. That's what you should be on the air to do. Make your show compelling. Get on there at 6 and give me a good hour of sports. Have a little fun once in a while, first to admit. But do sports. Get off that political correct garbage. And this is what ESPN gets in trouble for, among the other things, including bad contracts, which is what Linda Cohen said back in April, when she, at the time we didn't know it, got suspended for a little while because ESPN doesn't like their guys, and I can understand their point, doesn't like in-house dirty laundry being aired by one of their employees on radio shows. So, man, I can understand to a certain degree where ESPN's coming from. You know, they made terrible, terrible business decisions on the NBA, which does not generate the ratings, and even in the NFL, $1.9 billion a year. And as a result, you know, they're hemorrhaging money. And if somebody says that who works for the company on national radio, you can understand why the powers that be at ESPN, the same powers that be that sign those contracts, whose heads should be on the firing block, those people say, hold on now, can you not do that? So I can understand that kind of person getting mad. But what ESPN should also do is be consistent. If you get fired or suspended, and suspended like a shilling, for saying wacky things about Obama, which I have no problem with, and shilling had to go, you should also pay, not with some stupid statement, well, we disagree with these. You should also be reprimanded more severely when you go the other way. Be fair, right down the middle, and have a rule. There's no politics. They know where to go politics. Let them go to Fox. They don't like that. They go to MSNBC. If that's where their political persuasion is, let them go find their political persuasion. Our political persuasion is sports. And that is where ESPN has lost its way. Maybe it's because they got 3,000 channels. Maybe they're trying to appeal to too many people. They got a million shows they got to put on there. They're on 24/7, whatever the case might be. But gee whiz, why does it what they call it 6 on 6, whatever it is? I haven't met anybody who sits there and tells me, and I don't get a chance to watch it. I don't meet anybody who sit there and tell me that they're a compelling, that show is a compelling watch. Be compelling. Use sports to be compelling. I've been doing these shows for 35 years. Outside of, all over the place. Probably done about 25,000 talk shows in my life. I never get involved in politics. I had to with 9/11. It happened in my back door. And I had to agree with the gun control in Newtown. I live 25 minutes away from the school. So those two things, outside of that, I swear to God, when you hear me talk, I'll talk about movies, I'll talk about Timmy's basketball, I'll do wild things, but when do you sit there and tell me to break down the presidency? I barely talked about Trump when he was running for office. I think I did 1 hour on it in 7 months. People don't go to us for that. People don't go to ESPN for that. Occasionally, with Kaepernick, you're forced to go out there, Michael Bennett, you're forced to go out there, Marcellus Bennett, you're forced to go out there and have an opinion. I get that. But if you're ESPN and your ratings at 6 are stink, are in a toilet, you want one of your hosts sitting there talking about the president being a white supremacist? That's what you want? That's what you want. Boy, if I ran that place, that would not be happening. Hey, guys, get off the politics. What's your thoughts on, let me hear your thoughts on the Indians. Let me hear your thoughts on the Dodgers. Let me hear your thoughts on Cushing with the PED. Let me hear your thoughts on Thursday Night Football. Let me hear your thoughts on Clemson, Louisville. That's what I want to hear today. Okay? I don't want to hear about Carmelo Anthony. We've done enough of that. Okay? It's not the basketball season. We don't need to hear about Carmelo Anthony. We don't need that. Let's do what the sports fan is doing. And the problem, what they're thinking about. And the problem today in all aspects of media is we have so many places where fans can get their sports that entities, whether they are